fam, happy Sunday and welcome back to Sit Down Sundays, the place where I make you challenge everything about yourself. Man, it has been a minute since I have said that phrase, since I've done a video, everything above. How are you doing? Happy Sunday. It has been a minute. Today, there's a lot to go over, so let's grab some tea, grab some water, or whatever else you like to drink, and let's get into it. Also, hi, I cut my hair off. I know I look completely different. I didn't recognize myself for the longest time, and that's what changes. Just kidding. So there's a lot that I need to discuss. There's a lot of things that are gonna be happening, and there's a lot just in life in general. Today's video, I do have a topic that I would like to discuss, but before we get into it, I am going to acknowledge that it has been a minute since I've been here. I took a break for holidays, being present, and just for the sake of I literally did not have any time. However, I also, while on my downtime, have been contemplating and figuring out how I can grow with this idea that is Sit Down Sundays. And today in particular is a topic that I have never talked about, and hopefully I can continue to bring into my videos every month. What some may or may not know is that I am a professional, or was, I guess. I was a professional dancer. I still kind of dance. It's a tricky subject. However, music is my favorite thing about the whole dance world. I just love listening to a song, getting lost in it, really hearing what the artist is trying to convey, what they're trying to talk about, and how it pertains to my life and how it makes me challenge my thinking. And one song in particular that I had on repeat for like about a month is a song that I want to talk about today. But before I even talk about that one, there's so much I need to bring up. We are in the middle of rearranging this space. I love what I've created with my little plants. This is Cleopatra, everyone say hi. This is little Linda. I don't know if you see her on camera or not, so I'll bring it a little closer. But I will be rearranging everything. So in these next couple of videos, things might be changing. On top of that, I am very excited to get back into the swing of things and film a video once a week with Sit Down Sundays. And I want to start making it more interactive. I want to start incorporating more connecting, more connection. And maybe that means I'll bring someone in to talk with me. Maybe that means I'll present some topics that maybe you guys can help me figure out what I would like to talk about. So, with that said, keep an eye out because I do want to start making this more of a group thing versus me just spilling out my guts. I think that's pretty much all that I need to bring up for now. If there's anything I forget, it'll probably come up later or in another video. Okay, so for today's topic in general, I'm going back to what I was talking about with music and dance and that whole life. I really want to start incorporating dance music-esque things with my Sit Down Sunday. I typically usually have a phrase, I have a word that I'm working on, or something in general that I just kind of break down how I view it and how I think about it. And I felt like I was starting to limit myself, trying to be original, trying to make it feel very organic, even though I didn't feel like I was being organic or my true self. And one thing that always kind of brings me back to where I need to be is listening to music. I usually spend, right before I go to bed, a lot of time, this is a random story, I don't know why I'm talking about it, but I usually spend quite a bit of time laying in bed with the lights off, just listening to new music, old music, things that I haven't heard before, things that I've heard over and over again. And to me, it just really makes a lot of sense to start incorporating that here with with songs that maybe strike a chord with me that can maybe help you put some things together as well. And we can start talking about music, and maybe you can give me references or songs that maybe I've never listened to that you want to just see what my thoughts are. And it doesn't have to take a video. We can talk about it literally any day of the week. But this is just a new segment that I would like to bring into Sit Down Sunday. It's just a little musical avenue. So with today's first song, it is a classic. It's one of my favorites that my mom actually showed me when I was younger. And throughout all the years that I've been listening to it, its message kind of stays consistent but changes with me as I get older. And literally every time I listen to the song, I usually at least cry the first time I listen to it after I can't speak today. Usually the first time that I listen to the song, it always brings up some tears, and then I listen to it like 800 million times, and then it no longer happens. However, it's always the very first time that I start re-listening to it that it just kind of reminds me where I'm heading and where I want to go. If you haven't heard this song, I highly, highly, highly recommend it, but it is called Coat of Many Colors from Miss One Dolly Parton. There is a message in here that I think reads clear as day. And if you have listened to this song, fantastic, we have some common ground. If we have not, I would recommend you go listen to it and just be very open to what you're gonna listen to. It's a little bit country, a little bit twang, and might not be your normal cup of tea. However, the lessons that are in this song are something I think everyone can resonate to a degree. She talks about how her mother, who both of them grew up very, very poor, had a box of rags that she sewed together to make a coat for Miss Dolly Parton. She made this from scratch, told her about some stories and the love that she put into this coat that Dolly was just so proud of, right? Like, her mom made her this, and now it's kind of like her shiny item. I think there's something huge about how proud Dolly was to receive this coat made from literal rags, that when she, in the song, brings it to school and the kids made fun of her, it just brings it back to, we always want something new, we always want something shiny. And sure, it's great if you're able to pursue that route, but there's just something more special about something that's handmade from the person you love the most that will always cost more than whatever you spent on for something new. I know I kind of find myself in the habit of always wanting to buy new things, and now I make lifelong memories with this, whatever it is. But every time I listen to this song, it just kind of reminds me that I don't have to have the nicest things, because at the end of the day, it's about your own happiness. It's about how you view this product or item, that's what counts. To Dolly, that was the most expensive thing in her life. What Dolly was trying to tell them about this important piece of clothing, Dolly understood. And at the end of the day, that's what mattered. And so before you need to go buy your new Tesla, your new Nikes, your new whatever, remind yourself where you've come from, why it is important to you to buy these new things versus, just sticking to the pair that you've had for maybe a couple of years that could still go a little longer. I am not one that's ever been thrifting. I would love to go, but I just think the idea of a thrift shop is amazing, because there's one article of whatever you find in there that has already made so many stories with someone else that can now come into your life and make so many new stories with you, and then maybe even surpass it and be given to someone else. It's kind of strangely the story of life. We always think growing up we're gonna have the same group of friends, and then one day you don't. But sometimes you wish you've had that one tangible item or object that makes you remember about those times. This is exactly that, right? For Dolly, this coat was a stronger connection to her mother. And I just think it's so important to ground yourself in your reasoning for anything and everything at the same time. With this all being said, I again highly, highly, highly recommend you listen to this song and really listen to what she's saying, because I think it can relate onto so many levels for so many different things. And sometimes it's just that reminder that if you're not at the place where you financially can pursue all your dreams, that's okay. Maybe you'll get there, maybe you don't, but make sure you're happy along the entire process and that you believe in yourself and that you love what you're doing and creating for yourself. I think it kind of ties back into the cliche, Rome wasn't built in a day. You have to take the steps to build yourself up. And one day you're gonna look back and realize, holy cow, I did all of this. Yes, it's always good to be hungry, to strive for better, to strive for more, but at what cost? And I think Dolly does a perfect job of summing it up in this song. She literally says, my coat of many colors that my mama made for me, made only from rags, but I wore it so proudly. And that's it. It doesn't take a lot to find happiness. It really, truly doesn't. If you ever hear Dolly Parton talk about the song, she straight up says how dirt poor she was back then. And yes, it's a struggle. Yes, it's hard. However, there's always a silver lining. There's always something positive to look towards. And I think she does an excellent job in this song explaining what the silver lining was for her. So this song just really strikes a chord with me and just kind of helps me remember where I'm going, where I'm heading, and why I'm doing what I'm doing without feeling like I have to go show blow and show off what I'm doing. Because if it makes me happy, then that's what's important. I'm not trying to make myself happy so someone else thinks I'm happy. I'm trying to show myself how happy I am truly, and you don't need to brag about that. Thanks for watching today's video, fam. I hope you enjoyed this new idea that I have. I am thinking about maybe doing it like a once a month kind of thing, finding a song for the month and then talking about it in one of the random videos. So hopefully stay tuned with my adventure of deep diving into music and making Sit Down Sundays a little bit more interactive. See you guys next week, fam. Happy Sunday.